To all those above me that watch over me, to all of you, my fave parapeeps on this side of the veil, welcome. This is the Paranormal Ministry. I'm your host, Sean Whittington. I am a seminarian in the United States Old Catholic Church, and I'm coming to you live from my haunted house, my very haunted house, where I live. And it hasn't been quiet today, and you all know why, and that's the reason why you tuned in. And I'm going to bring it right out ASAP. But first, if there's anything you want to know about my wife and I and our ministry work, go to our website, www.ghost-b-gone.biz. And when you go there, anything you want to know about us is there. But while you're there, buy my books. Twice the Rev, Twice the Scares. You'll find my haunted autobiography there, God, Ghosts, and the Paranormal Ministry, and my newly released on Memorial Day weekend, God, Ghosts, and the Paranormal Ministry 2, Chronicles of an American Exorcist. If you haven't done your good deed for the day yet, part of the proceeds of every sale of every copy of my books goes to support stjude.org, St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, Nevada, and the ASPCA. So how cool is that? You get to help some of the neediest children on the planet and the animals too. You can get an autographed copy off of the website, and that copy will come to you enclosed in a house blessing kit, or you can get them a little less expensive at Amazon. Okay, tonight is a very special night. It's the one night Spirit really looks forward to all month long. That's right, it's Happy Medium Monday. We skipped last month, and she's back. So without further ado, please welcome to the show, live from Cape Cod, the happy medium herself, the one and only Susan AHEARN. Susan AHEARN. Okay. I don't know. I know Susan's there. She's in the green room. This is what we're going through today. We're going through, Zach had an emergency with one of his animals, and he had to take his dog as an emergency appointment to the vet. So he's trying to produce the show. He's trying to produce the show right now from the vet office. And I have Susan in the green room, so he's probably having some issues. So what do you guys want to talk about till I get Susan out? I'll go over some rules if we get her back in here. This is the night to get a free live on-air psychic reading from one of the most gifted psychic mediums I've ever met, and I know. But here's the rules. We don't take call-ins. So if we finally get Susan on here, this is what we're going to do. You will type your question into Susan in the chat room. Zach will see it, or Susan will see it. She'll read it, and she'll give you your reading right here live on air. Now, we do not do any conjuring, spirit channeling, because that takes a lot of time and a lot more energy, and it would be a completely different type of show if we did that. So tonight is just give her a question about, love, money, your job, travel, health, things like that. Give her a name too, and maybe where you're at, what part of the country you're at, a first name, what part of the country you're at, in your question to her, and she'll give you your reading. Hello, Zach.
Sorry about that, Sean. Hello.
That's all right.
Let's bring her on. I'm very sorry about this, guys. So, but here you go.
All righty. Hello.
Hello. I think that was hysterical. I love that.
I got I totally understand. I mean, I'm a vet tech. Sharon's an office manager at an animal hospital. I wouldn't be here if my dog was having a medical emergency right now. I wouldn't be here. I'd be taking care of that. So I know how that is.
No, he's amazing. And so 10 points for Zach.
Yeah, it's just there's a reason why someone like me has someone like Zach as a producer. He always calls himself a button monkey. he's selling himself short. He's a lot more than a butt monkey. Um, but there's a reason why, because like to him, it's like the show must go on. It's like even if I have something personal to do and have to cancel a show, or he's for whatever reason he may have some personal issues and he has to cancel a show. As far as live goes, it doesn't matter where he's at. He'll make sure he plays a best of. I always tell him you can go dark. It's okay. He goes, no, I don't like to go dark. I'll play a rerun of something, one of your episodes. So yeah, that's the kind of guy he is. But I'm glad to report that things look like they're going to be okay with his friend.
Mm,
Um,
good.
he's heading home now, and there you go. I missed you last month, and so many other people did. I got a ton of people reaching out to me going, "What did she do? Did you kick her off the network?" I'm
I
all
was in timeout.
about it. But so
Oh,
people,
I got replaced by an amazing team. I was watching it. That was good.
oh my gosh, I'm forgetting what happened last month. What did we do?
You you
What did
did
I
it
do last month?
the crew. You had the show on with all the guys and
Oh,
the
that's right.
from your
Oh, that silly old little
show,
stuff.
famous. Oh my
That's
God,
right. I forgot I did that. That's
I
right.
have a lot of questions for you that people want to know, that people have been asking me, and I don't know because I wasn't there. So yeah, I've got a lot of questions.
Well, I gave the rules to everybody. We may get 20 questions. We may not get one because we missed last month, and that's the way it happens. But I don't care. I'm glad to see your beautiful face. You look very pretty tonight. I'm glad to just have this time to catch up. This is the only time you and I get to catch up because we're both busy, really busy, and so I really look forward to Happy Meeting Mondays. Do you want me to just start hammering you, or do you want to hammer me first?
Oh no,
Uh
me
oh.
first.
Uh oh.
Oh, he's
Oh.
there. At least he's in the car. He's okay. Good.
Okay.
No, you're on the hot seat. I have
Okay.
been stalking you. How do you like that? And um, so I just want to oh, hello.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle. I want everybody to raise their hands at home and tell me who has watched his show because the show is amazing. I don't, there's only two. See, raise your hand.
He's gonna get in a freaking car accident, and then he's gonna
Oh my
blame
God.
me.
Right. Oh, it's been awesome. I have when a show starts off with, um, oh, Kelly, you've been having a lot more paranormal activity in your house again. Hmm.
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 Well, I would first go, what is emotionally happening? Hi, Sharon. What, Kelly, is happening in your home on an emotional level? We go with that first. The veil is awful thin. I know I keep saying that, and it just keeps getting thinner and thinner. It's gonna be like Sean's underwear. That's eventually just gonna just fall to pieces.
What has happened to this show?
You know what's funny with me? I become that weird old dude. I go out 3 nights a week if I'm lucky to work part time at the animal hospital. Otherwise than that, I'm at home, and I don't do anything. Sharon works 6 days a week, sun up to sundown. We only have one car, but I'm in my seminary studies and helping people with paranormal cases, not physically, but advising people online and stuff. And here's the crazy thing: I don't even realize I don't go anywhere. But now I forget that I'm not dressed, and I go out all the time to feed the cats, throw out the trash. I know this is TMI, but I got a mastiff, so
No,
I
I
go out in the
got it. Yeah.
backyard, I pick up the poop, and then I toss it over the gate because my gate's locked, and I walk around to get it and bring it to the trash. I don't realize I'm out there in my flip flops and my underwear and a wife beater, and I'm that old guy. Remember when you were young, you used to see
You're
the
that
weird old
guy
dude
with the
that
bathrobe open. That's you. You don't even have a bathrobe. You
yeah,
just
it's depressing. So I got to be
that's
careful
all right.
about that.
Well, you're slinging poop to begin with is one thing.
Yeah,
Just leave it there. Wait till you get dressed.
and usually people are,
It's
usually
Las
there's
Vegas. Nobody knows.
the weird cat lady. I'm the weird cat dude. I was never a cat guy, and now I got all these cats. But I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Oh, I don't know what it is. Oh, so when your show starts off with viewer discretion is advised, you know it's going to be a good show. I was impressed.
Where you don't have to,
Mhm.
let me okay, I have several different types of groups of people in my life, people that have known me
Mhm.
all my life
Mhm.
that still love me, wish me the best, pray for me, and we still do talk. But when I went from, even when I got heavily into investigating the paranormal, many of them who were freaked out by spirit and ghosts and
Mhm.
stuff kind of started not hanging around so much, and I totally got it. Then when I went into the delivery ministry field, even more did that because now to them, now he's stepped up his game a little bit and he's really dealing with some stuff that really freaks me out. I love him, I pray for him, I'll talk to him every once in a while, but I'm going to have to distance myself because I'm that stuff really freaks me out, and
Yeah.
I get it.
Mhm.
It's been like that with this show. I have a lot of people that have known me all my life, one, call me and congratulate me, wish me the best of luck. They just say, I know, regardless of what happens, the show's going to be great because I know you're the kind of person that puts your blood, sweat, and tears literally into these types of things. But I'm letting you know right now, I can't watch that stuff because it will freak me out beyond, beyond,
Yeah.
and it'll just freak me out. And so I
Right.
want to tell you now, I won't be watching it, and I get it. Even Sharon, 10 o'clock's late for her because, like I said, she's up at 3:30 in the morning, is at work at 5, doesn't get home till like 3:34. So she's usually asleep by like 9.
Mhm.
But she wants to, and I say, you don't have to watch the show. We can wait till it comes out after season 1. We'll buy all the episodes, and then we can binge watch it one day. She goes, no, I want to stay up and watch it. But like she had a bad dream after the first episode,
Yeah.
and now she watches them, but she says they're getting scarier every week, and I know they're freaking her out. And even though
Yeah.
she was right there and knows about these stories, but she so what we do is like 2 clicks down from Travel Channel on my TV is a TV channel called um, TV Land, and they 24/7 run reruns of old, really popular sitcoms. So at that time of night during the week, I know it's either going to be Everybody Loves Raymond or the original um, Three and a Half Men, not the
Yep.
one with the guy that
Yeah.
was dating
Yeah.
Ashton, not Ashton,
Not
but
action.
Charlie,
Yeah.
or it's going to be this show called Mom, which I love.
Mhm.
And she'll watch a couple of those back to back and then go to bed about 11. She has to have that break from what
Mhm.
she just saw to a couple of some comedy for an hour before she goes to sleep. But we're entering episode 5 this week, which features one of my stories called Black Mist. And
Mhm.
this was a very tough episode to film. It was the story that resulted in me actually leaving the deliverance ministry field because it was rough, and it was rough to film
Mm.
that episode.
I
So
bet it
that's
was.
this week, and then the very
Wait,
last episode is
what
features
week are
another.
you on? What week?
We're
Because I
going
only saw
into
2.
episode 5,
Oh, how did I miss
and
the other
then
ones?
I because you're busy. I know it. I know you're busy.
Oh, I only saw
Then the
2.
following week
Okay.
is episode 6. That's it. Then season 1's over, and episode 6 has another story of mine featured called Pastor Delgado, and that's all I'm going to say. And that was probably my most frightening uh, case.
Mhm.
So I've already warned Sharon that those 2 cases, she knows about those cases. I warned her those will be the last 2 episodes of this season, and I'll say watch at your own risk.
Right.
Um, but I'm glad you like it. But I tell my friends all the time, listen, you can tell me if you think the show sucks. That's okay too. I'm still going to love you. You're still going to be my friend. It's not a show for everybody.
No.
And people, I just want people to know they can be honest with me. But so far, I've only had the people that have said, I just can't watch it.
Oh,
Whether it
no,
was,
I love it. Although I do have to say, it is a first. I have never seen you not say anything. In episode 1, you were so quiet. I was like, "Oh my god, this is a miracle. He's he's quiet." Huh?
I
Had
do.
to get that in.
You're not the only one that have said that.
See,
Unless
this is awesome.
unless I was told to say something,
Mm-mm.
I
There was
was
a.
having respect. First of all, I was totally in awe of where we were at.
Oh, you'd have to be.
This church is
Where
just.
was it? Can you say where it
It's
was?
up in the mountains above Old Pasadena, and it's an
Ooh, some nice
almost
old.
200-year-old Catholic church with its own mortuary and
Wow. Did it have
uh,
like a little Spanish twist to it? It was really
it
beautiful.
it had a very like medieval
Mm,
um, type feel to it. A
okay.
lot of spirit there. But I was in awe of the place. Plus, I was in awe of
Their
my
company.
my other cast members. I wanted to hear their
Mm,
stories, and if somebody asked me for my opinion or my advice on something, I was ready. But I
right.
was just into listening to the stories. But occasionally, I was, you know, told to say something. Yeah, what do you think, Reverend Sean? What do you think about that? No, I would say something, but
Zip it.
I'm into my stories because I knew when they got to me.
Yeah.
Uh,
There was no stopping you. Blah, 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 blah,
yeah,
blah,
absolutely.
blah.
Cut lunch.
All right. So I got some questions now. I don't want to. Oh, good, 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 Kelly. Oh, I was
Kelly's
there for a
gone.
second. I was hoping you could sit back. Okay. So on Saturday night, early hours in the morning, I had a plant like move in the sink, and then yesterday I got electric shock. Hmm. And there's no, I'm assuming because you didn't put it in there that there's no unusual emotional situation within your family or external or anyone that lives in the house. They're not going on through anything emotional. Because that can kick up stuff. It's kind of opens an energetic vortex, so to speak, that can make more things happen. Uh, right now, the way the planets are, it's going to be kind of crazy until 2026. So everybody get their places. It's going to be quite a show.
Oh no,
Um,
2 more years of
yeah,
this, huh?
yeah, yeah. Um,
Or
so
3
no,
years, I should
thank you.
say, two
I
and
was
a
gonna
half years.
say, yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm thinking that either you're coming into your own awakening of your abilities, which we all have, and now it's just opening up for you. And as it's opening up, you're having more disturbance. Doesn't feel like it's on a negative aspect. Um, and if it is for you, then you shut it right down as if you were dealing with kids and you're just saying, all right, that's it. Enough. I like play really hardball and it just I like I'm done. Done. Enough. Like do not play. I am not entertaining any conversations with the other side. I don't care who it is. I'm just enough. If you don't feel safe and it's not for your highest good, then it should stop. And if it is for your highest good and they're your, you know, ancestors of bygone or they're a guide or someone that's coming through to help you in this situation at this time, which we're getting a lot of help, then that's probably another opportunity to come through, and that may be them. So take a deep breath and just say, if this isn't for my highest good, I command you to leave, and if this is, then please tell me who this is and invite them to come in. And I have the little cat toys right behind me if you touch them. So if anybody sees those going off, I have two here. I'm going to try not to bang the table. It's kind of a
Yeah, you're in
and then if I,
your daughter's office, which is
yeah.
haunted.
Yes, it is. So we always get something happening. I haven't seen anything yet. So, but
Good advice. Good
yeah.
advice.
Oh,
What
what?
else?
I
Oh,
have
go
another
ahead.
question. Sorry, I'm going to jump in again. Transient possession. When a possession moves from person to person, I've never heard that, and that came up in one of your shows, in the first show, actually.
I think when you say that, I think of everybody's going to go, that's just a movie. But do you remember a much older movie? I know Denzel Washington was in it. So was, I believe, Donald Sutherland. And
Mm.
who's the actor he's lost a lot of weight now, but he's very heavy set. He's a comedic actor, but he does dramatic roles, and he was in Roseanne. He was Roseanne's husband.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I was in a
On
movie
Goodman.
with him.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
The three
Wonderful
of them were
guy.
in this movie called Fallen. Do you remember Fallen?
Mm-mm.
It was this demon, and he would jump into people,
Mm.
and all he had to do at that point next was touch somebody else. As soon as he touched somebody else, he was in
Skip
that
over.
other body.
Mm.
We don't know. There's
Mhm.
no experts. Nobody has all the answers. I am of I'm at the point now in my life where nothing would surprise me or make me just go, "You got to be freaking kidding me." I think that stuff's very possible,
Mhm.
um, and it did happen. It was a true story. I believe that was um, oh my gosh, I can't remember which exorcist on the panel whose story that was. Maybe Bishop Rita, but
Yeah,
it
I think
happened.
yes, it was. Yeah, it was her.
So that those types of things happen. It's just one step away from complete integration, which some colleagues in my field don't think that's possible. They think that if a person gets possessed, the invading unclean spirit is just so unclean that the host, your body hosting it, would just eventually deteriorate away
Mhm.
and rot away because it can't really contain
Mm-mm.
that level of malevolence for a long extended period of time. Having said that, how many possessions go on for months and years, and
Right.
they keep going back and back and doing exorcism after exorcism? I think I believe people have seen and not known it, but have seen the demonic inhabiting somebody walking around among us.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
believe the longer that invading unclean spirit stays in there, I get hate mail for this from colleagues who say the soul never gets God created that soul, so it's not going to go anywhere. It may be, completely buried down there somewhere, but the soul doesn't leave. But I'm of the opinion that perhaps the longer this malevolent spirit is in there without nobody making any attempt to expel it,
Mhm.
exorcise it out of there, that the original soul is goes somewhere, but it's not there any longer. Now you have this demon inhabiting this person's body. Um, I'm thinking of another movie, Frailty. Did you ever see Frailty? Um, Bill Paxton was in it. Powers Booth,
Mhm.
Matthew McConaughey. It's another movie about uh, demonic possession. But once these people are
Mhm.
possessed by these demons, they just go about their normal life as if they're just a normal person, and you only know. Well, he has the gift of discernment to know um, who they are, but you know them by their actions, like child molestation or murder or the types of really evil things they do to other human beings. That's how he's able to discern who they are. Plus, God gave him a list. Saint Michael gave him a list of these demons, and he has to go out and kill them. I think all of that stuff. Um, I know it's movies, but there's a little bit of grain of truth that stems from how these stories are developed and created for TV or movie or whatever. And I believe all that stuff is very possible. And you can even go back and read stories about old possession stories from back, even in the Bible. And I think this stuff is, you got to just be really, 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 really careful. I think it's all possible.
Mhm. If you want to practice seeing someone possessed, um, just so you get better at it, just watch the old lockup movies where they go through and they're doing the videos of inside lockup and they kind of do interviews. When you see someone with that blank glaze, it's like that's like your number one tell.
You know, you when you see a person in prison like that, like you said, with that look, and their
Mhm.
behavior also tells you a lot. They are totally at home. Because I'm here to tell you the reason why demons want to be anywhere but in hell. Even they don't want to be in hell.
Right.
So prison is like a summer home. It's like
Oh my
vacation
god.
time for them. So they're
Yeah.
having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And when you see a person behaving like that with that look in prison, yeah, you know there's something else going on there. And could you imagine if you were, let's just say, um, uh, I fell off the wagon. Something happened to me so awful that I fell off the wagon, got hammered one night, jumped in the car, drove, and killed somebody, and went sent to prison for that. I would accept my responsibility. I would accept that punishment because I would deserve it wholeheartedly, and I would go to do my time. But if I got put in a cell with a possessed person, can you imagine how horrific? You're already in prison.
Oh,
Now you
yeah,
got to share your cell with a
right.
possessed person, and
Well, and
nobody's going to
then
believe you.
then think about all of the demonic spirits just running around. Like they can go from host to host and have a buffet. When they really think about it, they're just shifting around, bopping from one guy to the next or girl to the next, and they're just yeah, like they're happy. Now, how happy are you? I think they'd be really happy with someone that came in with light, a light worker, your light and your energy. They're going to feast on that. They're going to drop that guy in a whoop and just go right to that light energy worker. Because there's so much more to feast on, and it's so brilliant that it's like their double-edged sword. They despise it, but they need it at the same time, and they don't understand why it's just so easy to but being a light worker, we can repel it easier. We feel it, we don't feel it's comfortable, and then we just get rid of it. So there's that too. They just can't last, or they have to convert. They have to get used to the energy. They got to convert or they can't stay. So it's kind of interesting, that kind of stuff.
I know you and I go back and forth on this all the time. I always say you're a 7-time near-death experience survivor, and I always hate saying near death. I always say you died and then you came back. You always say 4 or 5, maybe it's even less than that, but it's been a bunch. You're very gifted. You're one of the most psychically gifted people I've ever known. Now, here's the crazy thing about this. I see some of these trance channelers. And I know you don't do that, and I know you're very careful about getting spiritually jumped, yeah, especially if it's a negative entity trying to enter you and stuff. But how do you avoid that from happening? And how easy would it, if you decided you wanted to go that route, how easy for you would that be to become a trance channeler where you see these people take these spirits in and then like their their facial structure even appears to change a little bit. Their voice is now the voice of somebody else, and they're
Mhm.
talking. The spirit is talking through them. How easy would that be? If you decided you wanted to do that, how easy for you would that be?
It's just a breath.
Wow.
That's the difference. And actually, interesting enough, I have been in my downtime. I've been studying with a group in Australia, and this couple, he is amazing. And what I was learning is more like safety nets and little other tricks of the trade because he's been doing it forever. And we just like a couple weeks ago, we just had a workshop on trance medium and ectoplasm and what it does to the medium when that happens and how you have to be in like pitch darkness, and it was around the whole thing and learning what that was because I was like, I keep seeing more stuff and more things. I keep the the further we go down the rabbit hole, the more stuff we're exposed to, and so I wanted to be really like prepared for everything.
How
And
did you get hooked up with a guy in Australia?
right, um
Okay,
I
I think we're gonna get an update here.
yeah, what's happening?
Oh no, no. I want to.
Oh,
I missed something here. I really want to know what this comment's for.
just don't go to prison. That was for you, Zach. Just don't
That
go to
was for
prison.
you, because
Yeah.
yeah,
No, okay.
I
Yeah,
pray I pray for Zach not to go to prison all the time.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
me
need a
too.
date somewhere. So,
This
They'd be yumming up on you.
oh yeah. Oh, bet. Yeah, everybody likes somebody shaped like a donut. So
Well, he's a bear. Ba-da-ba. I better stop.
I agree,
Um,
Michelle. Yeah, it really
growl.
corral. Um,
yeah. How did you get hooked up with a guy in Australia?
I'd seen them on another network, and I really
You want to
liked.
give him a shout out?
No.
Okay. Nah,
No. Well, it's not for everybody. It's kind of advanced, and I wouldn't want to do that to them or to
gotcha.
anybody else. So, without
So I
asking
get
for
so
it.
I guess also asking for an update on your project with the director that we both know is probably going to
Daniel.
be nah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No update
Well,
there either.
yes. No, no, no. So, well, he's in Peru. He's running around the world,
Wow.
right? Um, so I think that goes to one of my next questions
I
was,
would I had a suspicion, but I
Mhm.
didn't know if I had a suspicion that in addition to being a director, he was a drug mule, but I wasn't sure.
Stop it. No, he's not. His family is from there, and he was going home,
Ah,
which is another story. I don't know if I should tell, but he and his brother, when they get together, a lot of interesting things happen. So um, I'll let you interview him. Oh, that was for Sharon.
yay.
Aw.
What did I want to tell you about Daniel? I'm waiting for him to tell me how his last project is working out. He sent me
Mhm,
a portion of a script that he wrote, and
mhm.
in this thing that he sent me was a scene that he wrote about a priest
Yeah.
encountering a possessed person in a mental institution, and I loved it. I told him, "Don't change a thing." I love it. I said, "If you want to change something, fine. Do you, boo." But I love the scene as it is. And then
Mhm.
he was working on it, and I know that they did some filming and stuff, and they were into that. And I didn't hear back from him. And God bless him, he bought one of my new books. I
Oh,
sent it
I
to
haven't
from
even
here
had
from the
one.
office. So I sent
Mhm.
him a nice house blessing kit. Um, and I'm waiting to hear back about his project, how it's going, and when it might be finished and wrapped and out there for us to see. But he does good work. He's very talented.
He does do good work. He really is, and he works 100 jobs, and he's just all over the place. I can't keep up with him either. Um,
I
so
get
talking
people
about
asking me a lot about mass hauntings. What's up with the team on sabbatical right now?
it's on sabbatical. Yeah, everyone's in kind of in a life changing situation. So it may just kind of coast for a little while and then we can pick it up again. I don't know.
Okay.
But nothing with the team. I mean, everybody in the team is cohesive. It's just life is taking everybody in different directions at the moment. So
Do you want me to? If you have any more questions for me, I'm ready. If
mhm.
not, I will. I'll hammer you.
I get one more question. So writing the script that I was, which was our next little thing with Daniel and I'm writing a script and on this haunted location that I went to, and then stuff started to happen. And so I was at like kind of leads to your show is that when you started talking about really dangerous demonic situations, did you notice that there was it just in talking about it? Did it bring up stuff around the house?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, we got
Yeah.
to be careful, especially since, and this goes back to before the pandemic when I was reached out to start working on the show.
Hmm.
We go way back, and yeah, it was just been a lot of house blessing, yard blessings, and just having to be careful, and just a lot of cases coming down the pike my way with those types of issues, and yeah, it's just it's really fueled it.
Did you just hear that?
I hear all kinds of things. What did you hear?
It sounded like a man's voice and it was went
Yeah, I did hear that, and I didn't know
Did
if
you?
that was maybe Zach or.
I'm not sure, but it was very interesting. All right. So roughly
Well, I'm
about 3:30, 30. What are we into it? 33 minutes into it. We'll have to
okay.
look. Everybody kind of listen and let us know what you guys picked up, because you were in the middle of talking, so you can't talk and breathe at the same time. Although you probably could. You. But
So I'm about to ask you some questions now.
All right,
like
go
I said,
for
if anybody that's tuning in, if you want a free live on-air psychic reading from Susan, that's what she's here for. All you got to do, a first name would be great. Where you live would be great. And that's all. I don't have to get too personal. And then just your question, type it into the chat for her, and she'll read it, or Zach will read it and post it up there, and she'll give you your reading. So that's what she's here for.
Sounds good.
Are we doing next month again too?
Just please make sure that you add as much information in as you can, so we can.
Yeah, July
she can-
30th, you'll be
she can
back,
get
or
everything.
July 31st, you'll be back next month for another
Yep.
Happy Meeting Monday.
Mhm.
2 in a row.
Okay,
Right on.
Zach, I wanted to tell you something real quick. Do you remember when we talked about this book?
Yeah.
And I told you it was Sharon's grandmother, her mother's mother.
Yeah.
And I got to kill a bug right there. Sorry.
So it crawls across.
Yeah, I never get bugs in here. See what we're talking about, and I get a weird bug crawling across. Okay. Anyway, this is Sharon's grandmother, the first woman at her age, pushing 70, to hike the Appalachian Trail.
Wow.
They wrote a book about her. But Zach said, you know what's funny? Every time I go on, I don't know what you go on, and this pops
Audible.
up saying,
Audible.
and you didn't know? Guess what?
What?
Her husband's name, Sharon's grandfather on her mother's side, was Perry Clayton.
Oh wow.
Oh. Dun, 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 dun.
That's why you're
Guess
getting
it
the
better.
bug.
That could be why. Yeah.
Okay, well, as long as I would be related to your wife and not you, I can live with that. But I mean, if we
Okay. Well, we already know the secret. He changed his name. He's really a Clanton, and I'm really an Earp.
yeah.
And so it's Hatfield McCoy's Clan Earps. It's that's what that's that whole thing going on there.
Yeah, I like this. He gets to be the hero in this. See what stardom gets you? You know, you get that's what happens when you make the big bucks.
Perry Clayton.
Wow, that is pretty cool.
Here's my story.
All right, here you go.
You know, Sharon's mother just recently passed. She was 107 years old. Sharon's daughter, who was like her home hospice caregiver, said, I think everybody should come and see her. Let's just go with that. I think everybody should come and see her. So a couple of weekends ago, Sharon, her daughter, went down there, and I know her son also went down there to visit her. Sure enough, a few days after they all came back from the visit, her mother did pass. So I think her mother knew, but it was still a surprise because her mother looked great, and was acting great on that visit. Anyway, so right after that, I'm walking towards I'm actually exercising. I know that's a big surprise. I'm on the floor in a push-up position, and I hear what sounds like something heavy up high fall in either Sharon's tub or my shower. But I think I just naturally go to her bathroom first because to me it really sounded like that. So I get done doing my set of push-ups. I get up, I walk into her bathroom, turn the light. I even bring a flashlight with me. Sometimes even with the light on, you want a little extra light in some areas to look. I go in there, nothing's out of place. I look in her tub, nothing's fallen in the tub. Okay, it must be my shower. The acoustics are weird in this house. So I walk back into nothing in the shower. I'm like, that's just, it was just so loud. I'm like, that's just, chalk it up for another weird thing that happens here. So then I'm walking into the kitchen. Now, back in the day when my dog was young and just 24/7 Tasmanian devil, if I wasn't paying attention to her and walking away, you couldn't turn your back on her because she would either bite the heel of your shoe or your flip-flop or bite the material at your pant leg down low and trip you and like start playing tug of war with your foot. I got tripped almost to the point where I almost fell going into the kitchen. Something clearly, at first thought it was my dog, because something clearly tripped the front of my foot, and it caused me not only to trip, but my flip flop went flying in the air. That's a pretty good trip.
Wow.
But I didn't feel nothing malevolent about it. I'm like, somebody just, and that's right after the noise. I'm like,
Right.
somebody's.
So someone's
So,
playing with you. Yeah.
so well, I didn't know. Should I say anything to Sharon? Ah, Sharon's been down this road a million times. I'm just going to tell her. I thought it was her mother here. Her mother just passed.
Mhm.
And then it dawned on me. That big open space behind me on the wall there used to have a painting of hers on there. She did a beautiful painting of Calvary, the three crosses.
Right. I remember.
Sharon had to take that down and dust it off really good and take some good photos of it and send to her daughter in Arizona because her daughter was making this really nice collage that's going to be on display during the viewing and the funeral. And she wanted that picture of
Mm.
the painting in this collage. So after Sharon did that, I have something on the way here that I'm adding to my collection that's going to take up that whole space there. So I didn't put anything back up there, but her mother's painting has just been on the floor off to the side up against the wall. As soon as I figured out where I wanted to hang it and I finally did hang the painting back up, all of that activity stopped. So I don't know for sure if it was her mother, but I said to
Mm.
Sharon, so I'm going to tell you a couple of things that have happened here. And I told her, and I said, this is just a suggestion. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. But if I were you, I would go off somewhere alone in the home, the office, the bedroom, wherever. Talk to your mom. Tell her you love her. Tell her you miss her. Tell her you can't wait to see her again one day. Rest in peace, please. Tell her that you're sorry. I know Sharon felt bad that she wasn't able to go back down for the viewing, but she is going for the funeral. But she just saw her. So explain to her, I just came down and saw you. I'm sorry I couldn't go back for the viewing. I'll be there for the funeral. We'll talk to her and see if that helps. And I don't know if Sharon did or not, but so I've just laid all of that on you. I know Sharon's watching. She never watches the show. But she stayed. She didn't take her nap today so she could watch you. So I don't know. She didn't know I was going to do this. If you had a reading for her, or if you have an opinion on what was happening here,
I know what you can answer for her though, Susan.
Mm-hmm.
What was Sean doing in a push-up position? You know he wasn't doing push-ups. What was he doing in a push-up position?
Well, the only one push-up he did was to get off the floor.
Yeah. Did you drop a cookie or what?
It's funny. I have a confession to make. I bet you guys didn't expect to do confession today.
All right.
I had just got done watching Stripes. Do you remember that old movie Stripes?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I remember when his friend was teasing him in the apartment at the beginning of the movie, like, you can't even do a push-up. And he bet him that, after $20, that he could do 5, and he barely did them. I'm like, oh, I can do more than that. And so the movie just ended, and I went into the bedroom to see how many I could do. But that's when that happened, that situation with the noise. I still don't know what that noise was, but the trip was definitely a tricky, mischievous hot trip, not a try to launch me into the fridge.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. That's cool though. Yeah. Oh my God, your dog is so cute.
Yeah,
Little
that's
white
the
guy,
one that actually.
It's so crazy.
He's a Dalmador, a Dalmatian and Labrador. So, and he's the one who constantly tries to trip me. So
What's funny is that when they took him to the vet, and the vet said, we're gonna have to put a cone on him, Zach said, oh, my wife already got me one. So that's actually Zach's cone on the dog. So that worked out pretty good. So I just laid a bunch of stuff on you.
You did. All right. So I know that Sharon gave you permission, or I wouldn't do this. I don't read for you, Sean, for anyone else. I only read for the person, but we know that Sharon gave permission tonight. And so, your mom is just like, I pulled the never card. There's no guilt. Never feel bad that you couldn't be. She's already in passing. She's in in and hanging out. She'd like to actually go to, it almost feels like a celebration of life party. So I hope there's going to be a party
Oh
because
yeah,
she's expecting one.
yeah.
That's what she's telling me. Um,
Oh, that's right.
what?
That's right. You know
Was-
what the noise was?
What?
I know what the. Thank you, Sharon. That's why I married her because I'm gone. My mind is gone right now. We figured out what the one of my flashlights exploded. I have flashlights hanging on a nail in the kitchen,
Yeah.
and they're the kind that you screw. And
Yep.
many times I'll feel spirit in the kitchen, and
Mhm.
I'll tell them, if you're here, let me know.
Oh,
Turn my
yeah.
and they'll turn my flashlight on and turn
Yeah.
it back off.
I love
Either
that.
or of them.
Mhm.
One of the flashlights blew up. Blew up. When I went into the kitchen, there's
Wow. Oh,
plastic
so
and
that was your
little.
sign. Someone's here.
One of the flashlights
Ta-da.
blew up. That's what that noise was. It
Wow.
sounded like somebody dropping something heavy in the
No, that's
shower or the
exactly what
tub.
it was. And you were like, oh, stepped right over it. And they're like, hello.
I'm
Right?
sorry I interrupted you.
No, quite all right. Where do you get those flashlights? Because I can't find those
Oh,
twisty ones
I just.
anymore.
Oh, you can? Just go
Mhm.
to usually Home Depot has a whole
Oh, I'll have to look.
variety of different
Okay.
types, but you can either be the one with the little push button on the end because they seem to be
Mhm.
able to just at least push a button.
Oh, okay.
But some of them have the twisty. You just have to ring.
Yeah, I
They have
like the
that little
twisty
twisty thing.
better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go into Harbor Freight or any of those places. You're gonna find them. You can probably find them even at your local Walmart. So
All right. Yeah, my local Walmart is 40, 50 minutes away.
Yeah, they're having a big lunch
We don't
after this.
have
yeah,
anything
that's
here. I
Sure.
real
know.
local.
Yeah, right. Right.
Yeah, you've got peace and quiet though.
Yeah, exactly. Well, not right now, but so yeah, so Sharon, she's really looking forward to the party. She's looking forward to a gathering and a celebration. She is a hoot and she wants to be celebrated. She wants everybody to be joyous. And no, I mean, she doesn't want you to be ruminating on what I didn't or couldn't do or whatever. Like, let all that go. She goes, that has nothing to do with it. That's, the ego that gets in our way of self-punishment. And so she says, no, just celebrate life and laugh about the silly things. 'Cause that's what she was about. It was about the silly things.
Yep.
She liked that. So yeah, no, you're all good with that. I pulled the family tree, which is also, that's the scales. It's about bringing things back into balance. She said she will find great joy in seeing everyone together. So that's what she's looking for. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. I'll let you read that. I
Okay.
won't bug you.
I live in Tennessee. My parents live in Alabama. Will I ever talk to my parents? My mother is not a very nice person. She has favoritism. My mother is obsessed with her brother getting everything from the grandparents when they die. Ugh, this is a horrible situation. My grandfather is still alive. My grandmother passed away in 2021. Okay. So I would say that for you, because you're very sensitive. I'm not even going to use the cards if no one minds. You're very sensitive and you can't be around that. You just can't. It's not healthy for you to be around all that drama. And so because it's family, we always give that extra leeway of it's okay, but it's not okay. So you just, if it's not working and it's too toxic, it's okay to just send it love and just step back from it. And in the hopes that some positive things will come about that. But you don't need to be in any of that. It really doesn't, having some distance is good for you. Um, And they're also saying, your guides are saying this is a situation or a topic that you cannot heal, because it really is. It started way before you, and it really doesn't really have anything to do with you. Um, you may be a target, but why put yourself in the middle of that? That's not necessary. Um, we can't fix other people's stuff, and we can just send them love. Try not to be reactive to any of it as well, because you get very active because you're sensitive. So try not to be reactive, and you're going to have to go in with a game plan that says, okay, if someone says XYZ, I'm not going to respond. And so, but your grandmother passed, correct? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you can still stay in connection with your grandmother, just because she's not on this vibrational field, you can still connect with her and ask her to come through to you if you wish to speak to her. I would just, if she comes to mind, then I would just start up a conversation, is what I usually do. And it makes the spiritual connection, like, talk to her as if she's here, and she's here. So, yeah, don't let that stop you from still talking to your grandmother. And that goes for Sharon as well. Still talk to your mom, still have
Yeah.
those conversations, because you will all of a sudden go, oh, I need to call my mom. And you're like, oh, she's, because, you need to still have that. She's right there. She's going to love that. Oh, you're welcome, Michelle. Anytime, honest, anytime. Still keeping that conversation. And I've also opened up for behind me. I'm going to say this again. If there's any spirits here tonight that want to, move these spirit balls, go for it. We'll have a conversation.
Those have become very popular.
Yeah.
Those balls, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing going on. It seems pretty quiet in your daughter's office tonight.
It is. Well, I'm in a different desk, so I wonder if that makes a difference. I was usually on that desk, and now I'm on this desk, and I don't know.
I'm used to seeing. I just picked up on that. I'm used to seeing this window to behind you on your left, or
yeah, that little window looks like a little
yeah, and
witch window.
you can see people walk by, or cars go by.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't know you are coming live from Cape Cod.
Live from Cape Cod, it's
And
Susan AHEARN.
For the longest time, you were famous for being Cape Cod's only live on-air psychic radio personality. You did that for a while. Now you seem to be on sabbatical for that too. Or any plans of possibly doing that again?
Going on the radio?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, radio's flat. Bottom fell out of radio. Yeah.
How about events? You had so many. I know you had your knee operation, and then that pretty much really stopped a lot of things that you were doing. You had the table tipping going. You had the ghost hunts at the cafe. What's going on with the tea leaf reading sessions? What's going on with any events? Summertime's, we're just entering summer, and
stuff is
what do
coming.
you got going on?
Well, so this is really an important lesson for everyone that is doing energy work, spiritual work, anything like that, that if you're not 100%, don't do it. Don't open yourself up. Because I could go in and start doing a table tipping, and if my energy is low and I'm trying to heal and I'm recuperating, an entity could come through and possess me in no time flat. Like I said, it's like a breath. You take a breath and I could start to channel.
Wow.
It's the same thing could happen. I could put up a barrier, but if my constitution is not strong, that could break and they could come in. And so now I'm possessed. Great. Who wants that? Yeah. So I didn't. I took the time that I needed, which was part of a lesson for me, was to take that time that I needed to recuperate and to be 100%. Because if I'm not 100%, my messages aren't going to come across. I'm not going to listen correctly. I'm not going to be able to deliver it correctly. And that's important to me. It's integrity. So I'm not saying I'll never, but I just was like, no, I need to, before I really start moving tables around, because I use a lot of my energy. I need to be 100%. So
let me run this past you here. We got a couple of minutes left before I have to say goodnight.
Oh no, already?
Yeah, it goes by fast.
It does. It really does.
Psychics on teams. You've been on since I've known you, and I've known you a long time. How long have I known you? 10 years? Has
I'd
it been that long?
say I think so. I think so.
You've been on 2 or 3 teams, really
Mhm,
good, well-respected, busy paranormal teams that did a lot of good work. You were their psychic.
mhm.
You know where I stand on that. I think a truly gifted psychic on a paranormal investigative team is invaluable. That's
Mhm.
the best piece of equipment they can have. And then we went through some years there where no team wanted to have a psychic on their team. I didn't get
Right,
that.
right.
Um, and I do get a lot of people who are very psychically gifted who want to be on a team. They reach
Mhm.
out to me and they say, "I want to be on a team because I know I can help. Um, do you have any suggestions?" So I'm just going to, in the couple of minutes I have left before I have to say goodnight to you,
'Kay.
your opinions on psychics on teams, and then any advice on somebody who's very psychically gifted that would like to be on a team but doesn't know how to go about doing that.
How good about it? Sure. I think a psychic on a team is just another tool that is necessary. I can tell you something's going to go down before any tool you have goes off. You're going to feel it. I'm going to tell you, oh, there's nothing here. We're wasting our time. Or, yeah, like it's necessary. And I get all the pieces. Like you can hear a voice, but I can go, oh, I hear this woman's, and it depends on the level. It really depends on what the gift is that the psychic is coming in with. But I think all psychics are helpful in that avenue. It just enhances the operation. But with the second part, I would be careful. Be careful of who you work with. You can, be used in the wrong way. You, I've, there can be some, um, like don't mind being, I don't mind people debunking and trying to, uh, what's the word without saying the wrong word. It just, I work very hard and to give information or to when you're in an energy space like that that's draining you. So I need to know that my team members are working with me. They have my back and they're out to protect me, not out to try and set me up
Yeah.
or trick me, or I don't have time for that. So that would be really important to make sure that you're in with a group that you can trust, that understands your gift and is willing to work with you and protect you at the same time. It's huge.
It is huge. Well
Mhm.
said. Well, I can't wait till next month. You're back
Yeah.
next month again for everybody's the last Monday of the month. Another happy medium Monday next month with Susan. I love you. You know I respect you, and I'm gonna can't wait till time you're on. Thank you for everything. Thank you for taking an hour out of
Oh,
your
you're
busy Monday
welcome.
evening there in beautiful Cape Cod to hang out with me and the Paranormal Ministry family. And reach out to me anytime. And
Thank
I
you.
bug you all the time, and uh,
Thank
have
you.
I'll see you when I see you.
Yeah, hugs to you and your family, and thanks for everyone that chimed in with your messages. I love each and every one of those. So thank you.
Very cool. You have
All
a great
right.
evening. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye. I love her. She's so cool. Okay. Yeah. I'll be here, and you're going to love my guest this Friday, June 30th. Is it June? Yeah, it's June. June 30th. Have you ever met an Earth Angel? Well, you're about to. Paranormal authority, paranormal enthusiast, paranormal investigator, been on a couple of shows. The one and only Sharon Wozniak Lennon will be here this Friday. Thank you to Zach and Adrian Clayton, my co-producers, for producing my show. Couldn't do it without them. CommunityPayItForward.us. Just go there. Be surprised. USOCC.org. That's the church I belong to. Just go there. Be surprised. BishopJamesLong.com. Just go there. Be surprised. Thank you to Things Network. Thank you to Temple of Phoenix Rising Entertainment. Thank you to Skeleton Key Network. Thank you to PACT, Little P, capital ACT, Podcasting for All Coming Together channel for all of these shows simulcasting my show. God bless you. And if you're free after my show's over, go to the PAC channel. They're having their new episode of Footprints, and they're talking about mental health and suicide. So that's very cool if you want to just go over to PACT after my show's over. Don't forget BeInspiredRadio.net. Chicky Hot, the rock psychic, that's her network, her radio network. She re-airs audio reruns of my shows on Saturdays all day long, along with like a lot of old Art Bell reruns, which is cool, and a lot of other really cool shows on there. So check out that. Eli Roth presents The Legion of Exorcists, Thursday nights at 10 p.m. on Travel Channel, Discovery Plus, and Max. Yeah, these next two episodes, this Thursday and the following Thursday, episodes 5 and 6 are the last two episodes in season 1. Both feature stories of mine. Both these stories are very, very hard stories for me to do for the show. So why don't we all get together, hold hands, and watch them together this Thursday night and the following Thursday night? I could use the support. Okay, bad joke time. I'm going to pull a bad joke that one of you sent in out of this haunted carnival barker hat. My attempt to put a smile on everybody's face before I say goodnight. What did the triangle say to the circle? You're pointless. Good night, Danny. Good night, Jack. Good night, Dog. Good night, Harold. Rest in peace. Good night, Ernie. Good night, Bill. Good night, Dan. I love you all. God bless you all. Peace.